Hi guys, back with Bassington. I hope you're all well and hope you're all keeping safe. I just want to share with all of you a story about an email I received from a viewer the other day. He went with his wife to a Rolex authorized dealer through which he had no prior relationship with, and in fact doesn't have any relationship with any Rolex authorized dealer, and they went to buy a couple of watches. His wife wanted either a green or blue dial Oyster Perpetual 36mm, and he wanted a bluesy Submariner or a Kermit Submariner or a Date Submariner. Needless to say, he was told he had little chance of obtaining any of these watches. Later in that email, he explained to me he could get a new bluesy Submariner for £13,500 through a grey market dealer, and similarly he could get through a grey market dealer a new Sea Dweller priced at £12,000. And he wanted to know what my thoughts were. I advised him to look at other brands. You know, I told him if he's going to spend £13,500, he could buy 3-4 other watches by other makers. And, in particular, I said, look at TUDOR and look at Omega, where I think there is far better value in those watch brands than currently there is in Rolex. He came back to me and he'd obviously set his heart on one of these watches, either the bluesy or the Sea Dweller, and said, look, what would you buy? And I said, well, I'd buy the bluesy for the simple reason it's trading at only £2,000 above list price. But here's the crux of the matter. I have never, ever, ever paid for anything above list price in my life, whether that be a car, a watch, or tickets to a sporting event. And instead, I've always tried to get a discount. And in most instances, I obtain a discount. Now, we have a scenario here where Rolex watches are in very high demand and short supply. Consequently, the price is high and they're trading at very high prices on the grey market. In some instances, at double the retail price or 2.5 times the retail price, and even in some instances at 3 times above the recommended retail price. And that's something that I do not blame the grey market dealers for. If you'd gone a few years back to the grey market dealers, they could have got you a Rolex watch cheaper than you would have obtained from an authorized dealer. You know, this is the market they are having to operate in, and they are probably making even smaller margins than ever before. I don't blame the flippers. You know, good on them. They saw an opportunity and they cashed in on it. I blame the consumers, people like you and I, who are artificially inflating this demand. And they've got obsessed with one particular watch brand. So it's very simple. Go and look at other brands. Go and get a discount off those watches. And you will find when this happens, the demand drops off, the supply increases, and the price will adjust accordingly. You know, let's make no mistake, guys. Watches are watches. They're a luxury piece of item. You know, they're not an investment. If you want to go and buy an investment, buy stocks, put it into an investment fund, a unit trust or something like that. You know, don't buy a watch and put it away in a safe for years to come. A watch is designed to be worn. That is what it's all about. As I've said, it is a luxury item. It is a piece of jewelry. I believe it is one of only 2 pieces of jewelry that a man can wear. You know, a watch and cufflinks are the only 2 pieces, I think, but that's a different story. A watch is a watch, and let's keep it that way. Stay safe and stay tuned.